I thought I'd make a few prefatory statements so that we could possibly steer our discussions towards what is being conceived right now in the Ministry of Urban Development in the context of smart cities. As you might be aware, and I hope you are, that the Ministry of Urban Development has put out in the public domain a concept note, a concept paper on the development of smart cities. And it is good for us that there is a commitment to building resilient smart cities. However, the understanding of what would constitute a resilient smart city, for instance, is presently a work in progress. And this is a very opportune moment for us to provide inputs to the ministry. So it's a very welcome initiative from Peru and APCO. I think I'd like, before I invite Mr. Das to speak to us, I thought I'd at least sketch out what are some of the aspects of the concept as it stands today, which should be taken on board so that we should not be overlooking the fact that there is already some thinking that has been embedded in the concept. To start with, there is a whole set of commitments that are going to be required from the ULBs or the state governments that will take charge of the smart city mission within any one state. These conditions precedent do include a disaster management plan. And if we are talking about 100 smart cities, then we are speaking about cities that have yet to be even included within our conversation about resilience and preparedness. So this would be quite a challenge for us to bring 100 cities up to speed with even the discourse that exists right now on disaster management. And of course, the Ministry of Home is in charge of this whole mandate of developing resilience. The other very important aspect of the Smart City Development Program as it stands today is that it does promote a collegiate system of decision making, and which broadly translates into a kind of convergence between ministries and departments and so on. Now this is not a small initiative. This is for any of us who understand the urban sector, this is quite a game changer to promote this convergence between different stakeholders within, especially from the government side. So if we are expecting this kind of convergence, perhaps we can debate what might be the forms in which this convergence can become operative, what are the ways in which we can inform this convergence as such. And linked to this would of course be the intelligence aspect of smart cities. And I use the word intelligence because essentially smart cities have to leverage a very vast amount of data that presently is not even used in decision making. By some estimates, some 95% of data that is produced on a daily basis by cities or by city operations is unstructured and unused. So we have an enormous opportunity before us that we can actually leverage this data to create an intelligence about our cities, which I am absolutely certain will aid the overall project of building resilience and being able to prepare ourselves for eventual challenges. Lastly, I'd like to say, of course, that this will translate into an enormous demand for new areas where capacity building has to be done. And this, for us at the National Institute of Urban Affairs, is a very exciting prospect because we are being designated as a nodal institute to create the overall roadmap for the capacity building in the urban sector as such. So I'm particularly interested in today's discussion so that we can start actually understanding how resilience will get embedded into the overall skill sets and knowledge that will prevail in Indian cities. So I think the capacity building aspects pose a challenge, but also pose an enormous opportunity, because one of the centerpieces of this mission is going to be to use the E mode of delivery of learning. Understanding the fact that to take people out of their work environments for any reasonable length of time and expect them to actually be able to be trained over a 2 or 3 week period and then go back and be able to apply, that might be a very tall challenge, because the most able-bodied or able-minded officers are the least expendable, and therefore they are very rarely sent for training. So, we are dealing with a very interesting conundrum or paradox, that we need to reach out and reach the beneficiaries of our training, who are actually going to be in active service, possibly in the process of training itself. So e-mode is going to help us greatly in doing this, and it also helps us harness a lot of different types of knowledge and different forms of knowledge. So that's also another exciting aspect of this. So with these brief notes, just to recap very quickly, I think some key words that I would like to put on the table would be convergence, would be intelligence, would be capacity building. And with that, I'd like to invite Mr. Das to share his thoughts on it.